Dennis White reporting live at the Greensboro Coliseum for the 45th annual HaycoHiring.com tournament. The seedings has been paired for this luncheon, and we had an opportunity to catch up with the first seeded men's head coach of Greensboro Day. Coach Johnson, welcome again to another edition of Greensboro Sports in the Hayco tournament.
Well, we appreciate the great job y'all do carrying this tournament and publicizing it.
Coach, each year, a couple of years ago, they didn't have the tournament. Coach, did you miss this tournament? Because I know there was others that you look forward to.
Yes.
Talk about this tournament in your backyard.
My kids really missed it. In June, that was one of the goals we set down, is to get back in this tournament and do well. They're so excited to be playing. I mean, they play with all these kids all summer. They're best friends with them. They play AAU with them. And so they're excited to be playing in front of the peers. It's a great event. It really is.
It goes to pageantry that goes into this tournament. The Greensboro Sport Council does an outstanding job. Coach, and you go all over to tournaments throughout many different states. Coach, talk about how important it is when you set the calendar each year as the athletic director and the coach at Greensboro Day, and the Hayco tournament is on their calendar. How did it make you feel, Coach?
We get so excited that we get to play in this. I think it helps the city of Greensboro out and all the schools when the Sports Council gets back to the schools. But our kids, they look at this date, and I look at it as a telling factor of how we're going to do the rest of the year. Because it'll show us our weaknesses and our strengths. And then to get the coach against so many great coaches, and play against so many good players, and what a tradition it has in Greensboro. I mean, I was on the phone with two of our alumni today. I was telling them where I was going, and one of them was on our first team that ever won this tournament. And that's all he could talk about. He can't wait to come to Greensboro over the break and see us play. He missed last year a lot.
And Coach, when you look at the tournament year after year, how do you prepare your kids, Coach, to come into this environment, not looking at winning it for 17 years, but each year, each team have to make their own statement and win it? How do you humble those guys, Coach?
Well, this is a different team. I mean, this team has never won it. So, I mean, especially that we didn't play in it last year. I think I have one player who was on the team and we won it 2 years ago. So it's really different for us. I think it's such a goal. And like, they really want to come to the awards thing, the seating thing today, but we're in exams. So only one of our players can come. But I think that they're so excited by getting to play in it. It's something they mark on the calendar. They play with their friends about it all the time. And I'm always excited. I've never missed one of these tournaments. When I grew up, I came to every tournament. So.
Because there's a lot of history in this tournament, and you being one of the individuals that have been in it from the beginning. How have this tournament grown over the years since the first, it was known as the Little Four, which derived from the ACC tournament that used to be in Greensboro. And Coach, talk about a little history on how this tournament have evolved to what it is today.
You know, it started with the 4 city schools, Smith, Dudley, Page, and Ripley, and enlarged to 8 schools. And a lot of schools had a chance to play in it. And we were invited in 1987 to play, and it was the greatest experience in the world. We beat Dudley in overtime that year in the finals. We had 2 turnovers for the entire game. And back in those days, Dudley's press was known as the top press in the state of North Carolina. And it was a real big win for our program. It kind of put us on the map. And we were lucky enough to get in it, win it the first time we ever played it. And we've been in it ever since. We wouldn't miss it for anything. It's our #1 event we go to every season.
Coach Johnson, in closing, talk about your preparation for this tournament. What preparation go into this tournament each year, Coach, as you get prepared for the Hayco tournament? What is your preparation like?
Well, the first thing I'll do today is I get back in the car. All our assistant coaches will be out tonight to watch these teams play, and especially who we play the first round, where I watch Southeast play. And we get ready for it. We already are practicing, thinking about 3 games in 3 days, and it's like our state tournament. And to me, this is the one thing that's prepared for our state. We get to play 3 really well-coached teams in a 3-day period, in a great atmosphere, and a great event. It is.
Coach Johnson, always a pleasure talking with you, and we look forward to seeing you reporting live from Greensboro Coliseum. Dennis White with GreensboroSports.com.